Good afternoon and welcome to the third in our series of JD Edwards EnterpriseOne 9.2 Knowledge Byte webinars, where we will review UX1 role-based delivered landing pages in 9.2. My name is Helen Honor and I'm a Solution Architect and Quality Manager for Beoley Mill Software, a version 1 company. We are an Oracle Platinum partner and are very proud to be being voted by customers the Partner of the Year for the 8th year in succession. We were acquired by version 1 just over a year ago, which extends the services we can offer to clients considerably. Version 1 is one of the fastest growing IT service companies in Western Europe. We are a values-driven organisation focused on ensuring IT can make a real difference to businesses. JD Edwards EnterpriseOne 9.2 was made generally available in October 2015, and updates are now being released using the continuous delivery model. This slide demonstrates what was included in the 4 updates released through 2016, and as you can see highlighted, the release in November 2016 included 32 UX1 roles. There were 6 more included in the February 2017 update and 12 more in the April 2017 update, making a total of 50 altogether. UX1 includes both a set of role-based application content that customers can utilize out of the box, as well as tools that can be used to create, configure, and personalize your solution to further optimize a user's interaction with JD Edwards EnterpriseOne. Here are the 50 delivered roles that Oracle have provided. You can use these roles with the associated pages, analytic components, queries, grid formats, and form layouts as they are delivered, or you can modify them to more closely meet the requirements of your organization. The delivered AP Manager landing page is shown here, following the Alert, Analyze, Act principles of UX1. The watch list pane represents the alert part of the form and flags information or situations that require attention. Something quite important to note is that watch lists come with a limited use license with these landing pages, so even if you're not licensed to them, you can still use the ones that are included in the delivered content. The full FAQs can be found on the learnjd.com website. The Analyze part of the form is shown in the center, where analytic content is represented in graphical format to enable users to easily analyze the information that's critical to their job role. Some of these analytic components enable drill down. And the Act part of the form is shown on the right as tasks, which are presented on a springboard pane to provide easy access to the programs and pages users need to be able to quickly act upon. Role-based landing pages emphasize the Alert, Analyze, Act principle using watch lists, delivered data visualizations, and springboards. The link to the user guide is shown here. It shows the analytic objects and watch list information that is provided for each role, as well as additional analytic components that are available for you to create your own landing pages or change those delivered. This is the user guide here, so it's got some information relating to the introduction to UX1 roles and understanding how to navigate around them. And then it's got each of the individual roles shown. So if I show you the content for Accounts Payable Manager, it's got all of the role information relating to it, everything that comes in it. So you can see there's 3 pages that come with the UX1 role. The first one is the Accounts Payable Manager page, which I'll show you in the live system in a short while. If we just go through the content there, below it shows you the watch list alerts. So the first one on the pane there is voucher matches in error, and then you can see that within that watch list it's got a grid format available which is simple, and it's got alerts to batch journal review, and it also shows Cafe 1 content is shown there. So let's sign into the system. I'm going to sign in as my Accounts Payable Manager and load the AP page that we've just seen in the documentation. So while the analytic components are just loading in the middle, we can see that voucher batches and error watch list that we were just talking about in the documentation. If I go into that, we can see there's automatically some content there. I'll just switch off the layout format to begin with. So you can see all of the predefined query here, voucher batches in error, so it's got defining everything, and there should be 23 according to the watch list on the outside. If I switch the layout back on, you can see it's got Cafe 1 both to the work centre and also to voucher entry journal review. And that will obviously update according to the Cafe 1 rules each time you change the row. So now my work centre is loaded for that row. It'll let me look at the actual details as you would through the work centre to see what's in error. And you can also view the journal review below relating to that one. So let's close back from there. So the analytic components and the watch lists are supported by standard JD supplied data. So when you actually receive them, you may need to actually change the queries behind them to reflect your own company details, your own branch plants and business units, etc. In which case you need to find the query behind each of these applications and change the query. For the analytic components, if you actually minimize the content, you can see the name of the application to the right-hand side of the form. In this case, it's P042022X. So it's actually based on the actual application P042022. Just put that back. And then you've got the hamburger style icon here, which allows you to go in and you can see the queries to select data from. And if I actually fastpath to the application, you can see the queries there that support the analytic content. On the right-hand side of the form is the ACT section. So you've got each of the supplier, the springboard pane here, supplier ledger inquiry and so on. If I actually select that, the rest of the content is shown across the top of the form so you can get into it. Right, I'll just switch back to the slides. And I'll show you how to actually import the Oracle delivered content. So some prerequisite information here for role-based landing pages, as well as how to load and import the content. The change assistant lookup for UX1 All is shown on the next slide, and then we'll step through how to do the import. So this is a screenshot of the change assistant with UX1 All selected. The download button is shown in the red circle. This downloads zip files to the location you define. Please note, we recommend any object not beginning udo_9.2 should be applied via your CNC team. This includes the data pack for UX1 role and security data, which is used to associate the role to the UDOs if you want to use the standard JD roles. Let's just take stock before we show the import. The first arrow here shows the step we've just discussed, which is downloading all of the UX1 objects from Change Assistant. The next step will be to import the objects into JD via Web OMW, but if you don't want them all, how do you know which ones you need to import? There's a Knowledge Garden document which shows the object references by role. The highlight shows the object reference for the Accounts Payable Manager role. You can copy this object reference, then go to the Update Center, select Type, EnterpriseOne User Defined Objects, and paste the reference into the OMW project reference. It doesn't matter whether you download the zip from Update Center or Change Assistant. From the Update Center, when you've found the objects you require, click the plus to add them to your download basket. Select the link in the download basket, click Download, and then save the zip file. Then you go back into JD Edwards to UDO administration and take the form exit to Web OMW. Take the form exit again to import, select Browse and select the zip file from the download folder on your PC and then load. The project can be found in the top pane of the Web OMW at status 11, Advanced Project to status 21. All the related objects can be seen in the lower pane of Web OMW at status Token Available. Click to check out. They will also now be found in the UDO administration page at status 07, Pending Promote. You go back to Web OMW, select all of the rows and the row exit to Check Out and Reserve, then select all the rows again and select the row exit to Check In, Approve and Share. The status here back in this page will then be automatically changed to 08 Shared, as if you'd done the Approve Share through that application. You can search for the OMW project reference and use row exit through Advanced to Security, and the delivered role has automatically been associated with the object. If it hasn't, then the data pack needs to be updated by the CNC team. Obviously, you may prefer to associate content with one of your existing roles instead. A final point to note, the Springboard pane uses menu indexing to determine the correct set of task items to be displayed for a role. Menu indexing occurs in two different ways. The first is when a user or role logs into JD Edwards EnterpriseOne, where a menu index will build automatically. Alternatively, you can use the Work with Task Index Builds application, which is P90013, as shown in this slide, to build the task index. That concludes today's Knowledge Byte session. I hope you found it useful and will join me again on the 30th of November, where I'll be demonstrating the EnterpriseOne search feature, data visualizations and object usage tracking. Meanwhile, enjoy the rest of your working week and have a great weekend.